Makes it a third successive draw. At 1-1 this game would finish. We saw chances from both ends in it as well. Let's welcome in Stuart Robson to talk more about what we saw, but just a look at how the standings are. City remaining second, but now they are 5 points off Arsenal, and the Gunners have the chance to go 8 points clear if they can beat Liverpool tomorrow. It feels like a big shift in the Premier League title race, Stuart.
It certainly does, because Man City over the last 3 games haven't quite been good enough, and tonight they weren't good enough. And it allows Arsenal, if Arsenal have a little slip, it doesn't matter quite so much now. They're playing with full of confidence. I think they will beat Liverpool tomorrow, and they'll be 8 points clear. And I think they're going to win the title by quite some way in the end, because Man City at the moment, as you saw in those clips there, defensively they were all over the place for the first 20 minutes. Yes, it was a sort of a makeshift back four with several players injured, but they didn't create enough going forward. Most of the chances that they created were given to them by Brighton. You missed a couple of other ones out there where they played out from the back, Brighton, and gave Man City easy chances. So it wasn't a great performance. Rodri came on in the last 20 minutes but didn't have an influence on the game. But overall, I think it was a fair result. Brighton had some big chances. Man City had some chances, but didn't control the game. And if you don't control games when you're playing at home against the likes of Brighton, I don't think you can expect to win the Premier League at the moment.
How bad is it for the title race for Man City, Shaq?
I can give them some of their feelings. That was clearly on display against Brighton, a good footballing team in Brighton. You just feel, like, especially when you draw the comparisons between Manchester City and Arsenal, who generally don't drop points, given the gap that they're on, you just wonder where City now have to be perfect from here to the end of the season, and even so, where do Arsenal drop those points? And for me, and we're in January, the January transfer window is open. You expect Pep Guardiola and Manchester City to do an awful lot of business, but there are just so many holes in this Manchester City team, particularly defensively. How do you fix that defense in one transfer window? I'm not sure. Again, and as far as attacking-wise goes, Doku on the pitch today, I find they look so much better when he's on the park, have 2 natural wingers. A lot of talk about Semenyo, whether he comes in. As it happens, he played on that left-hand side for Bournemouth today. Maybe having 2 orthodox wingers gets the best out of Erling Haaland yet again. But there's just so much for Pep Guardiola to fix in a very short space of time, and no wiggle room between now and the end of the season.
It's gone from feeling, Stuart, as though Manchester City might be putting something together, to now these 3 successive draws and it may be falling off a little bit.
Yeah, I think they've had some injuries, of course, to that back four. As I said, it was a makeshift back four, and Kazanov was one of the centre-halves. Alain came in from Watford. He's been out on loan. He was brought back. So that was understandable that they didn't have a good understanding to start with. They tried to play a high line. Nathan Ake, who they're talking about trying to sell, was playing at left-back. And Nunez was playing at right-back. So it's not a particularly good back four. And Nico Gonzalez, once again, failed to really impress and dominate the game, both without the ball and with the ball, and that's why Rodri has to come back and be fully fit. He was much better when he came on against Sunderland. He didn't have the same sort of impact today. And in the front areas, yeah, Erling Haaland had his chances today, didn't take them, but he's always going to score. Bernardo Silva playing out on the right-hand side. He can keep the ball, but there's not enough penetration from that side of the field, whereas, as Shaka just said, Doku looks to be the dangerous player at the moment. He's the one that created the penalty, or got the penalty. He actually won the ball back from a cross-field pass initially. So they've got a long way to go at the moment. Reinders didn't have one of his better games. I just feel as though they know they're not going to win the title. The crowd know they weren't going to win, or aren't going to win the title. They didn't turn up in great numbers tonight. It was a strange atmosphere at the ground.